What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? How's everyone doing this morning or afternoon, or wherever the hell you are in the world? Hopefully, still good. This is your boy, Ivanimal. With me, as always, to the right of me is my boy, NidgeDFX. Welcome to our prediction for the next step battle: Venom versus Crona, Marvel versus Soul Eater. Yeah, I don't know where else to go with this one.
You, you said to the right of me, so I saw.
God damn it!
Clearly, someone's gonna say,
I'm at to
"You
the
mean
left of you.
you mean your other left or your other
Yes,
right?"
I
No.
got to, yeah.
Hey everybody. So yeah, what we're doing here again is we got some good feedback last time. It seems like y'all liked it. We did the Sonic versus Flash. Basically, it was enjoying for you all to watch it live. Now, how it works, of course, is this is pretty quick information. We're going off the top of our heads. We have a few notes here and there. And of course, you, the audience, can chime in and leave some comments as to what we're saying and other feats if need be. There's definitely going to probably be spoilers from both shows. If you guys haven't seen them, I highly recommend watching Soul Eater because I think it's a very good show. To be honest, though, I'm heavily disappointed in the ending. But also on top of that, I did peek over onto the manga, and it is completely different. So this is going to be all I could say is the manga version of him is a lot stronger, or at least it showed more feats that's actually going to give him, a fighting chance against Venom.
Hmm.
So with that being said, we're just going to really go off of some of the feats, and you want to start with attack or
Uh,
strength?
sure. We'll just go for their attacking strength, their striking strength, and then there's lifting strength. And since it kind of tends to, since Death Battle kind of balance lifting strength and striking strength, which is kind
Yeah,
of weird. So we'll just
I
look for
think
what.
that's pretty accurate. You want to, I mean, to me, just because, like, for instance, the guy that has Mark Henry from wrestling, he has like
Yeah.
the world record for bench pressing. He did, but I guarantee you, Mike Tyson can punch harder than him.
Oh yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you see what I'm saying? Mike can only
Yeah.
bench about maybe 380.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mark Henry was benching like 1,000 pounds. So, but I guarantee Mike Tyson can punch harder than Mark Henry. So
I
like that.
agree.
So that's why I don't care about lifting strength at all. I really don't in these fights. I go for striking power, but that's just my opinion.
No, no, I totally agree with you. That totally makes sense. It's just, well, if there's anything worthwhile, but just to let you guys side note, this is actually Venom's second appearance in Death Battle. His first appearance was with Bane. You saw that one, right, Midge?
That was just a little bit ago too.
Was it?
I
I
would.
think it was like a couple of years ago, at least 2 years ago,
Well,
at
to me, that's
most.
when you get my age, 2 years isn't that long.
That's true.
It kind of seems to kind of blend together. I'm not saying it
Yeah,
was like it wasn't this season, but I thought it was the last season or the season before. Yeah,
it was at least the season before, but I think it was a
we
little
did
still a lot further than
we did
that.
that prediction together actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We said, I think we said Venom will win that one or whatever. But anywho, yeah, this is Venom's second appearance, so there could potentially be some new stuff that they may have added to him ever since then. But I don't know. I'm just gonna go over what I see here in the notes. And so, what they said in terms of his lifting strength, he left a Ferris wheel in a weakened state, which is about like 200 tons, and that's his lifting strength. But in terms of striking strength, it says here he managed to punch Juggernaut downward through several stories of a building and through street below.
Yeah,
He stopped a big rig, which is hold on. If you know big rigs,
we're talking 18 wheelers.
yeah, yeah, pretty much, yeah, yeah, they're pretty. They're at least what like they're at least like 10 tons at most. That's pretty. That's pretty. So if he can stop that thing, that's a lot of power. But
More than that, my SUV is like 2 tons, dude.
I said 10 tons. I said ten
Yeah,
tons.
I know. I'm just saying way more than that still.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you. But yeah, it says punch Juggernaut downward through the stairs, which is pretty incredible because Juggernaut's a tough motherfucker. He pretty
He's
much can.
very hard to move.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
hard. If you can
Yes,
move Juggernaut, you have to put out a certain amount of power, and I'm sure Death Battle's probably going to mention that.
yeah, 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 yeah. They have the cliff notes right here. They managed to he managed to actually punch him down several stories, and oh yeah, he definitely knocked him at least one, two, three, at least 30 stories all the way down towards the
In
sewer.
the sewer, he put his ass in the sewer. Yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's a lot of striking strength.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah, he punched a clone through a city street into the sewer below. Using a symbiote with only his forearm, he smashed through a thick prison wall. He smashed through a ceiling of a 747 jetliner. Swiped the metal cyborg in half. Smashed concrete and metal with Spider-Man's head. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
Yeah. He said he puts the man so hard that he goes flying and gets embedded in the side of a vehicle. So yeah, he has a lot of striking strength feats. So he said even says right here, tears apart an armored vehicle. And
Yeah.
armored vehicles, like they can take a lot of shit. Like they can take like heavy rounds
50
fire.
cals would be the only thing that would kind of really penetrate it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
maybe an AK around like a 7.62 could do it.
yeah,
Maybe. But yeah.
yeah. Okay, what it says right here. He swiped the car in half. He beat the clutch out of Spider-Man, who stated Eddie could have killed him if he wanted. Punched Nova through the water tower of a chimney. He hurt Nova with the punch and split a bullet, but that's more speed than anything. So in terms of striking strength, like he has that's a far more impressive than what Death Battle has mentioned before. Definitely they're gonna bring something like this up, but
Hmm.
what I'm saying right here, like this is pretty impressive in terms of his striking. It's just a
Yeah.
striking strength, like especially with the Juggernaut. I think that's his most impressive, at least from what I'm reading here.
Yeah. So I guess just to put a quick note there too is that some of the stuff that we're talking about might be even anti-venom, which is an upgraded version. And it's going to really come down to are they going to use base version or anti-venom version, because that's an amped up version of himself.
Is that a recent form he could take? I never heard of anti
Um,
venom.
it was like with the whole symbiote war or something like that. Like he actually has the power to destroy all the other symbiotes
Mm-hmm.
now, because they're like an alien race that leeches off of the human or living things, whatever, to survive. But
Yeah.
they also are like a tasty treat to these other little crazy aliens that go around. It's actually interesting, when you kind of read into it a little bit. But
Okay.
in a nutshell, though, yeah, as far as his attacks go, yeah, you definitely mentioned pretty much high stuff. I mean, of course, if there's more, you guys right now in the comments, let us know. And of course, Death Battle's definitely going to not be shy and share that information with us as well when it's crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as their striking power goes in Soul Eater, they're not really showing anything super crazy. At most, they can do like certain like energy wave blasts, and it'll rip the ground, kind of like make it like a half pipe. You know what I mean? Like a ground. So like you see kind of stuff on that type of level. As far as anything that can even match with that, at most I know he knocked the teeth out of the moon. It's
What?
weird. You never seen the show, but the
No, I haven't.
the moon and the sun actually have a face, and they're very cartoony. That's what makes
Ah.
it's a very interesting show. Actually, like I said, the show is amazing, and the intro is fire. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it yet, still what you're supposed to, whatever. But the ending on the anime was trash, and the manga actually, from what I'm reading, is actually freaking amazing. I'm actually thinking about picking up like a whole library thing of it, just so I
You
have it.
should.
I'm
Yeah.
just reading because I'm really interested in it because I really like the show. I fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, though, is that as far as the tooth of the moon goes, that really comes down to he was able to even open the mouth of the moon too. So one can say, well, that's pretty strong, but to be fair, in their world, their moon is tiny as hell. And when they show the animation of them standing on the moon, if you use how tall they are, then you do a scale. I would say their moon is maybe at most 150, 200 feet. That's it, big.
So
So
that's at least the size of that Universal globe in Universal Studios. You know what I'm talking about, right? That
I get
globe
it,
and
yeah. But I don't know. Maybe it's even bigger than that. Like I'm just throwing out random numbers that if like for instance they're like this big on the little page I read, but the moon is like about this big.
yeah, okay,
So
okay.
I don't know how many of that, and they're maybe 5 feet tall on average. These characters.
Yeah.
They're kind of short, so it's like you kind of do that. It's like,
Yeah,
of course, Death Battle again is gonna have to come up with that. So we can't compare it to our moon. Like, there's no way they're gonna give. Oh well, if he was able to punch the tooth of a moon, then technically, if he punched a moon, he's low ball moon level. No,
no,
he
no.
can't get that. Unfortunately, as much as I want him to get it, he can't get that. I think really where he's going to excel here in his attack power is that uh he has a screeching. The sword he has
Mm-hmm.
subsonic screaming levels,
Okay.
and it's loud enough to make the moon's mouth bleed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like his mouth starts bleeding. But that also, there's a lot of theories that maybe it, it's something else or a coincidence, more or less. So that's, and again, that comes down to how they're going to how they perceive it. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other thing that I saw? Yeah, he ripped out the tooth of the moon. He made it. He heard it with the screaming, and we're gonna probably go over um, defense right now because that kind of transitions with the screaming. I feel like his swords can definitely hurt Brock, and his abilities because actually we'll go to abilities after defense.
Oh
So
yeah.
but yeah, that kind of transitions us to the defense mechanism of it. And that's why I mentioned anti venom because the new Venom now he's no longer resist like loud noises and fire and electricity don't really hurt him much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Versus old school Venom, sound and fire was just like kryptonite to him. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel as far as the attack goes, and the first thing when he was introduced, Kronos, his sword screamed right away. I saw that. I'm like, my brain right away just thought like Venom, like he'll just separate from Brock. Like, yo, like
Yeah.
how the hell are you supposed to do? Yeah, let's go over to the defense thing.
Defense
All right.
thing. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to look it up right now. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Throwing and swinging, and that's not important. Tentacle strength. Let's pause right there. I know for his defense as a symbiote, it can pretty much take all the damage for him. And
Yep.
so, yeah, it can pretty much take all the damage for him. So, in order to really kill Brock, you'd have to really try to get at his body. But with the symbiote, it can pretty much morph into anything. You can like cut him in half, and it won't do anything. So, I mean, that's pretty good defense. And also, he can regenerate too.
Yep. And that's kind of the same thing that Kronos can do, which is it. Yeah, it's like the thing inside of him basically is kind of like a symbiote. Technically it's a sword that was melted down, mixed with some dark magic of witchcraft and injected into him. He's a test subject of his mother, which is sad. He's like a guinea pig, the kid.
Yeah.
But that thing as well, as far as defense and stuff goes, it will protect him as well. The black blood of it will harden wherever it's necessary and repair so it never reaches him down to the core.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's the goal of the defense. So as far as body shots him taken, I mean, I know Venom's up there.
Yeah.
Just a quick few of them, and then I'll name a quick few.
Okay, no problem. It's right here because in terms of impacts and what he could take, he said he was unhurt by taking an anti-tank rocket to the face, followed by several point-blank grenade explosions. Take the anti-tank weapon, survived a huge explosion from a device that was embedded in his head. Survived being slammed into an oncoming train. Well, anybody can survive the train in that universe, so that's really not important. Only stunned temporarily by an oil truck explosion. He tanked the rocket, unhurt by a fuel tank explosion. Unharmed by falling into a car. That's enough windows to shatter nearby cars. Not point. He survived a large power plant explosion. Survived being punched through the ground while weakened from a sonic weapon. Gets tackled from the top of Golden Gabriel. Okay, whatever. That doesn't make sense. Take many hits from Spider-Man. So definitely the power plant explosion and the rocket is definitely. I mean, even if that was not even based on his regeneration, just from that durability alone, that's pretty nuts. I mean, that's a lot of power.
Mm-hmm. And also, yeah, the strong one of the another stronger attacks I forgot to mention is like I said in the manga, he actually ends up absorbing more things, and he absorbed the Black Clown, which he ended up getting multiple blades instead of just Ragnarok. Then he has 2 more blades.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. I'm assuming they're gonna allow the manga in there because if they don't,
they will.
Yeah,
they will. They have to because if they literally just went with the anime, that they're guaranteed lose like as Death and Gray. Like if they just went with what she did in the anime, she would have lost guarantee.
Yeah.
And people would just shit their brains over that. So they're gonna put the manga. That they guarantee to put the manga. But go ahead.
Yeah, as far as his defense goes, then I remember I kind of mentioned in the past about his durability is against psychosis. How well is his brain guarded from insanity stuff? Well, I know telepathy. He's pretty much guarded. Like you can't mess with him on a telepathic level for Venom because of the symbiote is already connected to Eddie Brock.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, telepathy is like one brain at a time can interact. And since their brains are already linked, so supposedly you can't somehow override and hack it and get to him. But he's kind of guarded from that. However, like what I said, besides Kronos' other move, he can make you go fucking crazy. He made a whole city go crazy.
Who Crona did? Crona did, or
Crona
oh
did,
wow,
with the blood, yeah.
Oh
Because
wow,
whatever his blood touches, it can make you go fucking nuts.
that's true.
And all his blood, when it drops, it could pin shoot you like needles. Like all the blood can be controlled, even if it splats out of him. So, and
Oh,
I know Venom can do stuff like that too, to a degree.
oh,
I
he
mean,
definitely
well,
can.
there's
Like,
symbiote parts of him, the symbiote, yeah, but not Brock's blood. But
oh
you know,
yeah,
I get that.
yeah, that's more Carnage kind of thing with the blood, but it's pretty much to the same extent though. Like he can create blades, he can create wings, and he can create
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff. And it actually says right here, like, because there's another separate thing for regeneration, and that it says right here he actually clears Eddie's lungs, and I don't know what they mean by that. It says the symbiote kind of see it says heal Eddie from a bullet wound he endured while not using the symbiote, so the symbiote can still protect him. Like it's able to fix his bones and what did he do here? Oh, the symbiote actually helped revive Eddie by like kind of clearing his lungs of water. So the venom could actually protect Eddie. Like, and he could also resist poison. He could resist paralysis. So in terms of his mind, as far as I can see, it doesn't really show me anything in terms of his mind control.
yeah, because as far as the madness goes, that would be the thing that I would see would be a weakness to him from Kronos, and obviously the loud sounds from the blade.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, um, so yeah, I would say definitely though strength for sure. Venom, it's pretty obvious, but to be fair, in Kronos' defense, like yeah, even though he's like frail and skinny, like Ragnarok is able to just sit there and just body like anything. Like there was like this big golem with a chainsaw just trying to cut him, and he just blocks it. He's just holding it with one hand, and that golem. I mean, it's hard to scale the golem. You don't know anything else other than it's a big ass golem from 800 years ago of some trickery that I don't want to spoil too much in case people do get into it.
Mm-hmm.
But the damn thing just like he was able to just stop it, and like he just grabbed what's her name's scythe with his bare hands. Even when she did her ultimate super chocolatey move, he just like stopped it. Like,
Chocolatey move.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I, I guess to go back to the strength, I'm probably gonna have to strength wise or attack wise, I'd probably have to give it to Venom. However, in defense, I'm gonna have to I'll give it to Venom again, but I'm gonna put an asterisk. His weakness though is like I think is going to be that's the only way Kronos can win is to exploit the weakness. And he uses that scream all the time. It's not like just a one off, here's my introduction. That's like his bread and butter when he's fighting.
Yeah.
And he
And
uses it.
yeah, and I'm sure even though maybe Eddie could resist it nowadays, I think it's safe to say it'll still potentially do some damage if, at the very minimum, expose Eddie just enough for getting that hit. But I mean, that's what I think could happen. Like I know he's not a mutant where he'll just vaporize instantly, not like how it was back then. But it's still to some extent, it'll still be somewhat effective against it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So based on everything I heard so far, it's like I think this battle is going to come down to who's going to get the killing blow, who has the opportunity to bypass defenses and strike the person. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, well, to figure that out, we're gonna have to kind of talk about some speed then, because that's gonna really be a. If there's a big gap in speed, then I think we kind of have an answer already that's coming our way here.
That's
So yeah,
true.
as far as speed goes, I mean, you definitely know for sure he's scaled around Spider-Man. In fact, Spider-Man has said over and over he's actually faster
Oh
than
yeah,
Spider-Man. Venom is, and he has 360 vision. Like he
yeah,
sees
yeah,
everywhere. It doesn't matter. I don't know how the hell that works, but it's like he's like big ass dome, like a security,
yeah,
camera.
yeah, 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 yeah,
A
yeah.
360 camera. He's rocking that.
Mm-hmm.
Ragnarok as well has that kind of too, where he can look out for him on all angles. So it's like two sets of eyes for them in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. So what else for speed would you say as far as combat goes? Is there anything else even greater than Spider-Man?
As far well, there really isn't much on his movement speed here, but what I remember from Death Battle was he was able to react to a bullet that had already been fired, which is, according to them, twice the speed of sound, which is like 1,400 miles per hour, something like that.
You'd
Uh,
be hitting the 2,000 range if you're going.
oh yeah, but that's just I'm just going by what I remember from the previous episode of Venom. But in terms of what he did, it doesn't really say much. It just says right here, moves quickly by jumping along a wall, move as a blur, grab onto a vehicle as it runs over a car. He overtakes Spider-Man in midair. Well, that's pretty obvious. Like he said, he's faster than Spider-Man. He reversed directions while singing, while springing, surprising Miles Morales and knocking him off his web line. Other than that, there's really nothing here other than the move as fast as move as a blur. As we see here, and as we see from this comics scan right here, yeah, he pretty much like like just jumped from a building like right away. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say I still say he's at least Mach 2 from this point. He could be faster, but based on what I notice I'm seeing, he doesn't appear to be really any faster. I think Mach 2 is where it is for him.
Okay. Yeah. As far as the speed goes in that show, they didn't really do a lot of scaling or anything, but it is for sure the one of the fastest cats that was in there was Death the Kid. He was very fast, and also Black Star. Actually, I would say Black Star is probably the fastest one,
Mm-hmm.
and he was able to keep up with him. And I would say that it's definitely high hypersonic. So, and whenever like, and Def the Kid does shoot bullets at people and stuff. So I know people be dodging them bullets. Like naturally, a lot of people in that show are dodging bullets. So for sure,
Yeah.
we know that even like the most like I don't want to say the lowest tier, like the students and all them, but all of them are dodging bullets even at their youth, and they're considered level 1. They're not even level 3, like the grand, you know what I mean, the
The higher
stronger
tier. Yeah.
characters. Yeah. So I mean, they're already dodging bullets in high school. So for sure, we know that they're dealing on some levels faster than that. But Death the Kid is probably the best one I can think of off the top of my head. So I mean, some are saying FTL, but that seems kind of a little bit of a there was some lasers and stuff that were in the show that people were dodging. Again, it's all about perception. Is it really a laser, like a faster than light laser? Is it not?
I mean,
I'm just saying.
if it moves in a straight line, if it burns on contact, if it bounces off a reflective surface, then it's a laser. According to Death Battle, how Death Battle sees how lasers work, and I think that is how lasers work. Like I say, if it bounces off an object, if it burns, if it moves in a straight line, then if that's the case, then that is kind of at least in terms of reaction speed, that's probably light speed. But as fast as light, that's a completely different thing.
Oh, thanks, Lucy.
Oh, thank you, Lucy. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I guess in terms of reaction speed, Crona could be FTL potentially. I never really saw the show. I'm just going on by just natural death battle logic. Because usually when they think of lasers, they're mostly concerning the character's reaction speed as opposed to their movement speed.
Mm-hmm.
But based on what I'm saying, if even a level 1 like preteen or whatever can move faster than sound, then no doubt Crona is significantly faster. So in terms of speed, I think Crona got the edge in this one because as far as I know, like I said, Venom doesn't really have any other particular speed feats worth mentioning. I mean, Mach 2, I think, is where his best feats at. I'm sure Death Battle, must have dug up something that keep it even faster. But based on what I'm seeing, I think Crona has a really strong speed advantage.
That's kind of where I'm gonna go with. Just I'm trying to remember everything right now. I do know that the last guy, the Kishin, he was firing lasers for sure. He's basically
Mm-hmm.
madness itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's kind of where I'm going off of that.
Oh wait, oh wait. There is something I did find. I didn't bother to scroll up. Is offensive speed. Now this is something we can. This is something I may have to dig into.
Combat speed.
Yeah, combat speed, offensive speed. Yes, he said
Okay.
defeated 6 guards before one can draw his gun and fire.
Mhm.
Take the head of a cyborg before she can react. Quickly extend a tentacle to catch a falling man. Leave under and behind the Hulk before he can throw a single punch. Encircle Dark Hawk with his tentacle to trap him while Eddie attacks. Uh,
I'm sorry, I had to laugh at this guy's comment.
what did he say?
The season's death. I was like, we have more episodes than ever before. By the way, Marvel and DC characters, basically. Yeah.
Okay, in terms of striking speed, again, nothing really noteworthy. It just is here strikes Superman before he can reach a gun a short distance away. So yeah, I still say the speed goes to Crona. Like even combat speed or movement speed is relatively about the same. If anything, just a tad faster. But other than that, I still think Chrona's faster. Because like I said, looking at the notes here, not much faster really.
Yeah.
He has fast reflexes. He says he can dodge a sonic beam.
Yeah.
He casts.
He ain't gonna be able to dodge that freaking sword screaming. That thing just covers everything. Like
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I just see, and I remember again, it depends who's writing the Venom comic, because I've seen times when just ringing a church bell, the damn symbiote separates. And we're not just talking the movie. We're talking back in the 90s when I was a kid, like Saturday Spider-Man and comics, obviously, before that have written that to be like that. I'm assuming the symbiote evolves. That's the whole point. It does. It gets stronger and more resistant. So I just don't know what version of Brock. I'm assuming they're going to use the strongest version of Brock. And I'm not a fan of composites. However, it is what it is. So yeah, as far as the combat speed, again, they didn't really show him a lot in the anime to kind of see what the hell he can do. They did, but they didn't, if that makes sense. Like out of the 51 episodes, he actually maybe fought in like 4 of them. So it's very hard to kind of see like someone like, oh wow, and like they bust out a calculator and tape measure and that type of scenario. I would say the manga would do a lot more justice. And unfortunately, we had to schedule for today, and I had just finished watching the whole anime, and I just randomly had to Google search the manga only to be blew my mind. Like, it is completely different how Crona. He's way stronger, I could tell you that in there. So I'm kind of just looking at this really quick, kind of on the fly. So
were there any like lightning dodgers or anything particular that may have like kind of scales to speed for him? Like maybe was there a character like maybe dodge the lightning, dodge the bullet, or I don't know. Just
dodging bullet was Death the Kid's guns.
Oh, okay, but that's from the anime though, right?
Both of them have. He has dual pistols. The show basically, I'll do the quick rundown. There's people that wield weapons, and there's people that can turn into weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So what they do is their partner will turn to the weapon, and they work together, and they sync their souls together to do more damage output. Mm-hmm. It's super rare. Some people are born with both, where they naturally can fight and they can have their body turns into weapons. Those are the really cool characters. Like,
nice.
One of my favorite characters was this dude. His whole body was made out of chainsaws.
Nice.
So like his feet would just go zzz, and he just skate around, just like, and then he just stick his foot out. And someone wants to jump at him. But then he also could turn into a giant chainsaw. That's what the golem was holding and fighting with. He was using the golem. He turned into a weapon to help the golem, and then he could separate from the golem quick, go back and teleport, go back to him, and they keep swinging. Yeah. It was like some pretty cheeky shit there,
That's what's up.
Yeah, like that's what makes those guys really kick ass. So, anyways, my point is that dodging bullets, right? That's definitely a thing. As far as lightning, there was a lightning spear, which one of the students did. The lightning rope. That came from Spencer's girlfriend. But again, I can't really use that. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to kind of just stick with what I know. I mean, if someone in the comments knows any more speed feats of Crona, gladly would accept them at this point right now. Because I know that him being compared to Death the Kid is probably the best thing I got. And him dodging the laser from the Kishin. The Kishin battle, they were shooting lasers and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And then there was times they did get hit by him. So.
So like the Kishin battle, when he was shooting the laser, were they like, did they burn? Did they blast a hole? Was there any reflection going on? Or?
In the final battle. See, that's the problem is I'm going off of Death the Kid. I'm kind of scaling him to the kids. Maka's the slowest one out of the 3. That's been confirmed several times. The main chick with the scythe, scythe, whatever, how you want to pronounce it, and she's the slowest, and she was dodging shit too. So that and Kronos is faster than her. Like everyone's faster than her. That's just kind of how it is for the most part. So that's why I can't prove it, but that's just kind of really how I would say the scale of speed would go. So that's why I'm only really going with kind of like super hypersonic. That laser is really going to be up to interpretation of Death Battle at this point. But I'm still going to go with combat speed. I'm going to say, but he does have spider senses though, the symbiote, because he did fuse with Peter originally. That's why he did web fling, because of that concept. He that thing picks up whatever it attaches itself to.
That's true. So but
it up spider reflexes and web slinging, from my understanding. So and that spider senses, if you look up the combat speed of spider senses minus DC Marvel crossovers where he takes on Superman, because that would just be ridiculous. Minus that's really how you could scale it. I mean, one way, the combat speed. Like, to me, I don't know. I would have to almost say Venom would still be faster then as far as combat speed. If you really do all the the spidey senses. But however, again, I know I keep bringing this up like a dead horse. The screaming is going to mess with all of those abilities. And that's really, it's going to come down to that damn sword is just going to have to keep screaming while they're fighting. That's really, and then that's
scream
going
the whole time while they're slashing.
Oh yeah, it's going to have to level. If Crona can create sound-based attacks with Ragnarok, they may have a chance. Exactly, Brandon.
That's what I did hear about when I first heard this matchup, that he could potentially create ultrasonic sounds. But in terms of like his reaction speed, but the spider sense, like, I mean, it's been shown that the spider sense, even if he can see it coming, you know, it's up to him to dodge it. You know, it's not like an automatic thing where his body will just react on its own. You know what I mean?
There's Rider plot where sometimes the damn thing doesn't seem to work or something. Like
yeah.
It's not 100% foolproof. So I know what you mean.
Yeah. So if highballing, because more than likely when you mentioned about the lightning thing, at the most part, they're most likely gonna probably give it as a massive highball if he does lose. So like, okay, he doesn't necessarily match with this, but to give him the benefit of the doubt, we're gonna do it anyway. That type of thing. Mm-hmm. He could probably be fast enough to outmaneuver the spider sense, potentially outmaneuver it. But like I said, it's up to their interpretation how they perceive it. But if that's the case, Crona could potentially be fast enough to overtake the spider sense. It's been proven before. It's been shown before that the spider sense, like, it's up to him to dodge, even if you see it coming. Like, if
Symbiote's gonna come out to block moves, and Ragnarok's gonna come out to. They're almost like they're gonna negate each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that.
They're pretty close because the symbiotes protect him, but when the more symbiote that is extracted from his body, the weaker it becomes to protect Eddie. So every time he web slings, he's technically like he loses like 2% of his strength or whatever the magical number is.
Yeah.
Because, the symbiote has to be close to him to protect him versus like Ragnarok, it never came off that way.
Yeah.
Like even if blood was spilling everywhere, it didn't matter. The damn shit would just keep fighting and then it'd go back into him. Like the blood like just seemed to handle itself. Like it was crazy.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then there's really it all matters to like what exactly is Crona's weakness? Let's talk about weaknesses right now, since we kind of pretty much went over Venom's. What's Crona's limits?
He doesn't know how to deal with things. People that watch the show know what I'm talking about. I don't know how to deal with that. That's literally like his catchphrase of the whole show.
Like he's just like he's nervous. He's just like, how do I fight this? And it's like,
okay. First off, before we begin, just for the record, no one knows what Kronos' gender is. I'm not trying to sound all controversial. Yeah, they even asked the creator, and the creator said deliberately they never said the gender. You're supposed to. They left it up to interpretation, and there's this big gender war, like in the Soul Eater community.
Really?
So when we react, we gotta like, I don't know, like we're probably just gonna say he still because even the dub said he. But to be fair, they said when they dubbed it, they didn't want to call it because they felt like it was degrading. You know,
yeah.
The whole point was he was degraded his whole life by his mother. It's a really sad story, actually. And when you read the manga, it's even sadder. It's really sad. Like, holy, like it's dark. So, but yeah,
as in make your eyes sweating type of sad. Right. If anything, he's probably non-binary. If anything,
that's kind of what most people kind of go with. I feel here's the way I see it because they never confirmed who his dad was. A lot of the people, they don't mention parents. He was just created out of pure magic, even though that's her kid. I think what she did is she impregnated herself through magic and gave birth to him. So you know what I mean? But then but there is scenes though that could prove like Ragnarok tries to lift up his because he wears like a long black gown or dress.
Yeah,
he pulls it down. You know, like the Ragnarok's kind of a pervert to him. Or her, or, you know, like that's the problem is I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll just cross. Yeah,
we'll just for simplicity's sake, we'll just call him a he. Because
you cut out there. I'm sorry. You're still cut out. I can't hear you. Wait, you're back.
Can you hear me now? You hear me now? Sorry about that. Yeah. So for simplicity's sake, we're called a he because Crona sounds like a dude name. Well, technically, it could be a girl named Crona. Like hello, like
Kronos is a guy.
I caught that. Corona. No. Yeah, I caught that.
No, Kronos. Kronos is the male god, and the female name adaptation would technically be Crona.
Oh, that's true.
And when you think about it, just like Arnold, and then Annie would be the female name. You know what I mean?
Annie would be the female name of Arnold.
Why wouldn't it be Arnie? Annie?
Aren't Oh, okay. Now
Yeah,
I'm just getting fucking confused.
it's
Okay,
cool.
so yeah.
I am.
So as far as I know, like I'm trying to think, what else could he do? I mean, he could obviously, attach himself. Venom could obviously attach himself and actually infect, kind of pretty much destroy a person from the inside out after he just like throws this thing at him. You know what I mean?
Injects himself into people. Yep. And
Yeah,
Kronos, Crona, right?
Crona.
Crona. God, now I'm
Yes.
mixing that. I'm thinking of Kronos again. Jeez, I need to stop. Crona, and like I said in the manga, the blood and everything, like if it even like touches you and stuff like that, it'll drive you crazy. That's why I'm so wondering, can Venom do anything? Because here's what could happen. He can go up right away and stab dude, right?
Hmm.
And then the blood would just get on Venom, and then Venom would just go nuts and die or go crazy, in theory, right? Or of
Yeah.
course, Venom could inject himself into Cronus, and it's like, but at the same time, Ragnarok has proven that to harden himself and not let shit get inside like that.
Hmm.
So,
Oh.
and the only way you can actually, yes, that goes back to the weaknesses. In that show, they have soul wavelengths. You have to be able to match his soul wavelength to hurt him. That's why his own mother, spoiler alert, one-shotted him. She matched and someone can auto correct me. This is a while ago, when that episode happened. But when she did that, just one shot, he was done. Just put him down. Versus like no one else could do that because they could. Everyone's on a different wavelength in that show for their souls. Like you got the fiery soul, you got the chill soul, you got the whatever. He's like emo soul because he's super emo, unfortunately. But his mom knows how to match it, obviously, because she raised him. So I don't see Eddie doing that. Venom's not going to know how to match soul wavelengths. So that's pretty much like to me, that's like his one weakness. Just to kind of go back to that. And then as far as Venom goes, you can name off a few weaknesses real quick right now.
I mean, aside from his sound ability and the fact that, like, I mean, as far as weaknesses, you pretty much mentioned a lot of them already. Like, his symbiote can only go so far before it starts to get weakened. Yeah, that's the weaknesses right here. Says Venom's like all symbiotes has a notable weakness to fire and sonic attacks. Despite this, he is still more resistant to extreme heat and noises than a normal human. Just less resistant to them than these other types.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's Other than that, what?
Oh, sorry, I thought I muted myself. Okay, never mind.
No, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
So Venom, when Venom goes inside, he doesn't make you go crazy, right? That's not a symbiote. I think Carnage had that ability, correct?
No, Venom could do that too. Venom could. Yeah, Venom, like he could like shoot that gunk into your body, and pretty much like destroy you from the inside out.
Yeah, but destroying from the inside out's one thing. I mean, making you go crazy.
Oh, make you go crazy though. Like if the whole thing kind of just gets a hold of you, it will make you go crazy.
Okay, because Cronus is actually like he's resistant to that. I can tell you that. If anything, it'll make him stronger. When he goes crazy, like the madness, I think is what they call it. Like nothing can hurt him. Literally, like nothing, at least in the show, could hurt him. And he's only done that, but he did that back when he was like a good guy, though, because he actually does kind of get help and try to get like therapeutically get help, to deal with his. Like it's almost like when you see him, it's like therapy session part of the show.
Yeah,
slowly like becomes friends with all the kids and shit. So if they're using the new him, but then again, the manga though looks like he kind of went back to that just to use it as a weapon, like the fight and shit.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That shit ain't gonna work on him. I can tell you that. If anything, it's actually gonna make him stronger. So I'm gonna have to, the durability, and I don't see how Venom can puncture through that. He could punch him, punch him. His body would just go flying. He's already been dead. He gets hit many times and just gets thrown through trees and concrete walls and stuff. So he's pretty damn durable, but I would say Venom is probably more durable.
Potentially, yeah.
But that's when the sound blast comes in. So
I actually did find something about possession and mind controlling. It says right here he used a number of small animals as hosts to remain undetectable. He read a man's memory that controlled another man, controls a dog, can read the minds and dreams of his host, can put hosts to sleep, and share memories between two hosts with a physical connection. but that's only for really Eddie and the symbiote itself. To other people, it seemed like he could control them, but at the same time, if like you said, Ragnarok can pretty much resist that, then that's pretty much null and void. So in terms of his weaknesses right here, I actually found legit weaknesses right here. It says right here, his webbing loses strength and cohesion as it travels farther from the symbiote. People with good telepathic resistances can resist being controlled by the symbiote, although still has to control over certain bodily functions.
Which his blood is all black. So
Yeah.
bodily function things, I don't know how they're going to perceive that. It's up to them to kind of make a decision or a call on that. I'm going to stay neutral with that. I don't know how to.
I mean, bodily functions. Yeah.
Oh,
That's gonna be
I'm thinking bodily fluids. My bad.
bodily functions.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. For some reason, I'm thinking of bodily fluids.
that's what people mostly think of it as bodily fluids. I get you there.
Yeah, functions would be like, it's gonna be me, or whatever that song.
Yeah.
Puppet dance shit. So yeah, I guess we'll have to make a decision here and wrap this up. I think.
Yeah.
You know,
I just
go ahead.
I just want to go over a little bit more of his weaknesses, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Eddie and the symbiote don't always work together perfectly. That is true. The only exception to that is like Carnage and Cletus, because they both work together. They're both fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So they get along perfectly. Well, those two fights could potentially be an issue. He could temporarily run out of webbing. Eddie doesn't have a spider sense. As a result, he gets hit a lot. Oh, so he doesn't have a spider sense.
Then we gotta squash that. Then we can't even. But still, his combat speed still is good. But
it's comparable at best.
Yeah. Okay.
It's enough to kind of match Peter's spider sense if he's that fast. It says right here, although Venom is somewhat resistant to his weaknesses, they can still put him out of commission for a short period of time. He's easily distracted in fights, especially by mention of Spider-Man. So other than that, that's really all his main weaknesses. Mostly, again, to go back to the fire and sound thing. So like you said right here, like while he could body a bit, he can't take too much of it. So okay, so that pretty much goes to most of Venom's abilities as far as the notes I read. As to who could win, I don't know. I don't know. I think this is too close to call. I really, because I think they could both counter each other or Crona. I think in my opinion, Crona has a bit more counters than Venom. In my opinion, I think based on what I read, because like you said, if he can control being going crazy, stuff like that. Just in terms of that, I'm gonna for now until we actually watch the death battle and read the analysis and see what they said. I'm gonna say Crona just because I think he has a tad bit more counters and he does have a potentially reliable way to put Venom down to really to really expose his weakness. So for that reason alone, for now, I'm gonna say Crona.
Yeah, and it's a death battle. Is he gonna have the weakness for fire and sound? Fire, we might as well say forget it. There is, even though it's Ragnarok sword, it has no fire capability.
Yeah,
it's just straight up screaming, slashing, and dancing. It does some pretty cheeky stuff. Yeah, and then as far as the combat speed goes, again, like I would say now that's why Eddie gets hit a lot. That means he doesn't have spider senses. He's not going to be able to handle all that blood after he starts splattering it from Cronus. I see that that's going to be hitting him from all angles. He's not going to be able to dodge it as well as we think. And again, like the whole madness thing, if he can inject them with the madness with Eddie and if the symbiote can't do anything about that, he's toast already right there. But the screaming is totally going to offset him. He's gonna because he always pretty much starts off screaming. The damn sword does. The damn thing needs to go to karaoke night or something. I don't know. But like the damn thing, like even when the first time it was introduced, and I was like, I saw that right away. I was like, well, Venom's fucked. Like that's the first thing that went through my head. It's like, how the hell are you gonna? But then I say, oh, there's anti-Venom now, and I'm like, oh, are they gonna give him that? Like, what are they gonna? That's to me, that's gonna be the biggest factor. I'm gonna say it right there. If they use the original Venom, Cronus is going to win. If they use the new Venom, then I'm going to say it's going to be a lot closer, but Venom's probably going to win. So
that's fair.
I don't know. But again, there's a lot of stuff that we might have missed, everybody. And here we go. We got somebody here chiming in here, right here. He's rooting for Crona, considering in the manga he basically absorbed the power of Cthulhu. You must be talking about that brew, that cube. That thing had like fucking some crazy power. And yeah, he did eat the damn thing.
What does his power? What does Kuru do? Or I can't pronounce it.
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. Like, what can it do?
Cthulhu, from my understanding, is, and someone could correct me if I'm wrong, is Cthulhu is when you unlock that power, you can pretty much have whatever your mind desires, to an extent, or you can make certain things like, well, actually, in this situation, I don't remember the manga because I never read that yet, but they used that box to power. They unlocked it, and then the death, the Grim Reaper, he made the whole city grow legs and start walking towards the final battle. He's locked in his own city for reasons.
Okay.
So he had to bring himself to the fight by moving the whole city, Death City. So it's like that's what he wanted in his head. But then when he got to the final fight, he didn't use it to win. Maybe that's plot. I don't know. But again, yeah, apparently in the manga, he eats the whole damn thing. And gets damn powerful.
Okay, so someone actually did mention something here. I think what was it said? Dab the derpy pirate. He says right here that's something interesting. Well, everyone says Venom's gonna win, but there's a legit question: is how is he gonna counter Crona's Kishin form? Did you mention that already?
No, I did not, because he did end up eating the anime. He never ate the damn final boss, and the manga apparently he does. He eats the damn final boss. So again, that's going to make him insanely powerful. So
someone can elaborate. What does the Kishin form even do?
Kishin is pretty much pure madness. That's what drives everybody in that world crazy. The Kishins get locked away in certain ways however, by Death. Death is actually a good guy in this show. Believe it or not, the Grim Reaper is good. He's
really,
yeah. It's like I said, you have to watch it. It is so weird. It's one thing for sure. I think everyone can agree upon, no matter what, if you hate or like Soul Eater, that intro is fire. I don't care who you are, man. If you don't like that shit, man, I don't know what to tell you. That shit is just crazy.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, yeah, this is going to be a very close one, but I'm still, until we actually watch the analysis, I'm going to say Crona, just because I think he has a lot more counters, and he has a legitimate weakness for Venom. But we'll just have to wait and see. But this is going to be a very interesting fight. Like, I'm actually kind of excited about this. I didn't care at first, but after reading what I read, I think this is going to be a great fight.
Is it too soon? Is it too soon?
What's too soon?
Next death battle, Crona versus Trump. Is it too soon? I just did it right now. Because we were calling Crona. No, I just said that right now randomly. Sorry.
I'm like, what is that?
I'm not trying to get about this channel's not about that life, everybody. Let's keep that crap out of it. But
no.
Cracking jokes, man. That's what you guys get though when you come and visit us. You guys get to see these little moments of us. This is actually a lot of behind the scenes stuff when we normally record.
Yeah.
Me and him would be saying some stupid stuff all the time. So I don't know. I think at this point, yeah, we kind of both made our. What do you guys think right now? Then we'll take a few more questions. If you guys have questions about the show or us, we got about 5 minutes left, and we'll wrap this up.
Mm-hmm. And some people actually said, say they're betting on Venom. Some people said they're betting on Crona. Brandon actually said
that was the crossover. That's technically non-canon. Do you remember I was telling you? Remember, just like Spider-Man fought Superman 2. Remember,
yeah.
Back in like 1970s, or they made a comic of them fighting each other, and they made it look evenly balanced. And I'm just like, yeah, that would never. Cosmic Spider-Man, yes, I would agree with that. That's like Spider-Man, becoming like a cosmic being and all that crap. Like that, then it gets him on a different level. But Venom, yeah, it was. From my understanding, that was a vote system. Kind of like, remember how when the Joker either killed Robin or didn't?
Yeah,
they did that a lot growing up. You read a comic and it's like you got to call the vote, and then they had a big Marvel versus DC clash where there was like what was it, Wonder Woman versus Storm, and everybody voted Storm up.
Mm-hmm.
So Storm beat Wonder Woman, and then there was like Thor versus Superman. Anyway, there was a bunch of stuff like that. I don't know exactly which one that is right there, but. Classic Nidge. Yeah, right.
Very classic. CDN people, CDN.
Yeah, I'm probably going to hell anyways. I'm
You're going to
sorry.
monkey. It's going to
Oh,
monkey
monkey
hell.
hell. Right,
Yeah,
monkey,
yeah. Not hell, monkey hell.
monkey hell.
Yeah.
Special place for me. They're waiting in there. They're gonna be putting. Never mind. We got a bunch of bananas. They're waiting for me. Let y'all fill in the blanks. Just don't fill in the other part. Never mind. I had a feeling about that too. Krabs the derpy plate. I think this is gonna kind of be like Lucy versus Carnage. Yeah, it's interesting because
I have the same kind of thought. Like,
Lucy ended up winning, and how like a lot of people right away are like, no, Carnage is gonna win. So, and Carnage is technically even stronger than Venom.
Yeah,
because it's his child. You know, they're like off every time they give a child, like they get stronger and stronger. That's my understanding of it from a long time ago when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if Lucy won, and I don't remember how strong Lucy really was, but obviously strong enough to beat Carnage. So
she caused a nuclear explosion, called nuclear fusion, according to them, and she pretty much made a 9.2 earthquake. She's pretty much nuclear level. That's how she won because she vaporized Carnage.
Yeah.
I want a JoJo character for the next death battle. There was a JoJo character.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a JoJo character. He fought Kenshiro.
Yeah, it was ra da 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 versus da 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 da. That's pretty much. What are their similarities? Well, that was it. I was like, it's the battle of Ratatata versus Ratatata. That's so cool.
I think that show. Yeah, it was a good show. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess the questions are kind of dried up.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, don't forget Venom is killed Arc. RN is doing work. I don't understand what you mean by that.
I have no idea where that comment is.
It's like the second to the last bottom.
Well, my screen must be frozen. The last one I got is I wanted JoJo to be a character.
Now there's one there's one definitely after that by Cyrus. He says also don't forget Venom is in the Cone arc. RN he's doing work. I don't understand what that is. But
okay, there it is now. That was lag for me. I just got it now. Sorry.
You're good.
Venom is in the Null arc right now. He's doing work. In other words, he's putting in work. In other words, he's whooping ass and putting in work.
I mean, does he have any feats that are noteworthy in that arc? If you can, let us know. FDA 12 said both Venom and Crona could have been much better fighters, but could have been in much better fights, in my opinion. Honestly, I feel like
for matchups, yeah. Well, they're first. Go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say, I think this is a way more appropriate matchup than Venom and Bane because there's really nothing similar with Venom and Bane other than both bad guys. Yeah,
Bane takes Venom.
Yeah, other than that,
other than that, there was no connection at all. This one, they both had shitty parents. Well, of course, one is always going to have the shittier deal, right?
Yeah.
They were just treated like crap. They're just born to suffer. Like, no matter what, they can't fucking catch a break in life. And that's kind of the connection. And they both have a thing inside of them that can talk to them and can come out and do some crazy cheeky stuff.
Yeah.
You know, symbiote. They both technically, it's like symbiote. Even Crona, the thing is like, it's not a symbiote in him, but it might as well be.
Kind of works like it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's basically a living weapon because the witch his mother took the actual sword. Remember the people that turn into weapons? So it was a weapon, and then she just fucking threw it in lava or something and melted him down and mixed it with that black blood. Yeah, then like just injected it into her kid. So like the sword's not dead because it lives inside him, but it ended up taking over all his blood. So then like his natural blood just turned all black with his blood. The Ragnarok.
That
sword is powerful. The only sword stronger than Ragnarok in that series, if I'm not mistaken, is Excalibur. And that guy is a cheeky bastard. He got they got to. Oh, speaking of that, when the ending comes in this death battle, you guys heard it first here. I'm calling it or hoping for it. He's gonna come out of nowhere and go fool. Like he's got to do it. The little Excalibur guy.
Fool.
He looks like Spy versus Spy. If any of you remember that show with the pointy hat, the little spies.
I think so.
I
think it's been such a long time. I think I know.
Okay. No, it's cool. It's all good, man. It's just Spy versus Spy. It kind of just had that look. It was like a little show that I liked when I was a kid. I always watched Mad TV just to see that part. Like
nice
thing. Yeah, I'll just show it real quick.
Oh yeah.
They look like this right here.
Oh, that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember
Pie.
that.
That was
I remember
mad.
that.
They even have a video game on Nintendo for it. I think I actually have it. I think it's worth a lot of money too.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember that now. Just I don't remember the name, but I do remember the pointy faces and shit. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So it says right here, if I ever said a cult is a god of the symbiotes, okay, he can damage cult badly. How kill celestials in one shot with the sword.
And then here we go. Right, I'll show one more. And then here's Excalibur. What he looks like. So he totally looks like his head's basically upside down, the opposite of their pointy heads.
Yeah, it does look like it. Oh snap!
Fool! See the little right there, fool!
Fool!
He just points the fucking stick in your face and calls you a fool randomly and shit. It's so stupid, but it's funny. Like you kind of just get into it and stuff. Caliber.
He's talking about Brandon talking about next battle idea would be Caliber and the Black Eye versus Excalibur from Soul Eater.
That wouldn't work because Excalibur can't fight in his sword form. He would need a wielder, and he's been sitting in that cave for hundreds of years because no one wants to deal with him because he keeps going boo. He's like annoying, and he's got all these. He's just very arrogant, but like yeah, he is. He's just Just picture like the hottest, richest guy in the world and what his mentality would be like. And on top of that, give him really big pee-pee. That's how he. Yeah. How do you think he's gonna act to everybody?
Fuck that noise.
I know. I'm just saying.
People like fool. Just like that. Fool.
Okay, we gotta stop, everybody. Anyways, thank you guys for joining this edition. Hope you guys had some fun with this acting all weird stuff. And we're gonna be playing Among Us tonight. If you guys want to see it, join my channel, NidgeDFX. Or Ivanimal, I think you might be streaming it too. If not, you'll find it on mine for sure.
Definitely find it on his because I don't know how to stream it on mine yet. So, but you'll definitely find it on his. So definitely check him out.
Okay, everybody, and you guys can even join and play too, but no cheating, screen peeking, or I'll find you and I'll suss your ass.
Yeah, exactly. You'll instantly be sussing. You'll instantly get ejected. So we'll know.
Yeah, we'll throw you off the ship.
Yeah, the game. Exactly. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
No. All right. Have fun, everybody. Thank you guys. Hope you guys had a good time.
All right. See you later, guys. Stay awesome.
Yeah, we are out.